But the main point of the gladiator is to do massive amount. They just do massive amount of damage to groups at a time. People who play a gladiator, they're the ones that will go up to a group, laugh at you, and then they'll kill you all with their AoEs. Basically, if you're going to be playing in a group in PvP, you got to stay away from each other. You got to be close enough to avoid you got to be close enough to protect your allies, but you can't be close enough for a gladiator to get in and hit you all. So, if you ever do like in the abyss, you'll notice that they're kind of, you'll either fly in spread out swarms where people are always at like a certain distance from each other, or they'll fly in a certain shape. You can think of it as like the ducks in their V formation. That's pretty much what you gotta do. That's pretty much how a lot of people, that's how I used to play. I used to fly in like a certain shape, and we would do that for protection and to save allies. Ranged classes always went behind, because if they were to die, well, no wait, we had our melees in the front. We had one melee in the front, generally our Templar. So if this was a V, you had like your Templar, your big tank up here, you had like a Gladiator and Gladiator, and then your squishy classes went in the middle. So you had the big tough guys around you to protect you. They were the meat shields. And that's just how you play. You gotta avoid getting killed, and that was probably the best way to do so. So, gladiators, they just... And this was a big rivalry back in the day. Gladiators that were Asmodean were more powerful than the gladiators that were Elios. They were favored. They had one attack. They were both AoE based. The Elios, I can't remember the exact names. If you can, post in the comments below for me. The Elios had an attack that had a 20-meter range, you know. It was an AoE. When you hit them, it would spread out, hit the closest people to them for 200 damage. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, that's kind of nice. They got a range attack. And it was 200 damage, and I believe it hit up to 5 targets. Yes. And then the, I think it's Rupturing Wave is actually what it's called. That sounds right. Not quite sure, though. The Asmodeans got Rupturing Wave. This was an attack that you ran in, you hit it, and I believe it hit up to, I think it hit 12 people, or, maybe it was still 5. It either hit 5 or 12 people. That wasn't the... Nah, it had to be still 5 people. That would be a little ridiculous even for them. So let's just say it still hit 5 people. The difference is that these 5 people were being hit for 1,000 damage as opposed to being hit for... the 200 as the Elios. Well, this is a big deal because they're not ranged. They're not a ranged class. They're melee. They run in and they will kill you. So this was kind of pointless for them to have it. But some people disagreed and they have all passed it by using it as an entry attack. So that way... How do I sell these things? And they've all passed it by adapting. They basically had to adapt to it by saying, alright, well, how do we play now? Well, they rushed in. They have another move called Cleave. Cleave is a ranged attack. You always do this to enter. Well, now the Elios, what they do is they use the Rupturing Wave first. If they're in a group, they use Rupturing Wave. Then they use Cleave on the target that they want to kill. Generally, they go after the Sorks first because they're the squishy classes. You want to go after the squishy ones first. You want to kill the most that you can. Or the Chanter, because the Chanter's the weakling of the game. They went in, they kill them all, but they go. Cleave has a chance to hit 3 different times because it's a chain ability with a certain percentage. So they go in, they use their range attack, they hit a bunch of people. Then they choose the one they're like Cleave, Greater Cleave, and then I don't know what the final one's called. It's like something Cleave. It's got Cleave in the name. So that's just how they kill. My explanations are not that good, as you can tell, but I've been playing this game for I don't even know how long. What time is it? I've been playing this for about an hour now. It's alright.